this is Spliced, and today I'm going to be making more of a controversial kind of video. I did think long and hard on whether or not I wanted to make this video, and I decided, yeah, let's make it. This is going to be a video on the most hated strategy in the game, which is the Lawbringer Kite-Strat that I made up. Back in Season 3, I used this when there was tournaments came up for the first time, ranked tournament, ranked duel tournaments, and Gladiator was the character that came out at the time. Of course, now it would be a lot less prudent to do so against a Gladiator, as I'm able to react to a Gladiator a lot easier when they use the zone. But back then, I was far less skilled, and my reactions were a lot worse, of course. So, whenever a Gladiator did a zone, I would get hit by it no matter what, and dodging it would not be something I could think of doing. However, there was something that I did come up with to combat this Gladiator free zone damage that most players in ranked would do against you, and basically it's called the Kite-Strat. And why is it that? Is because you're kiting the enemy around, and the way you do it is basically you turn your back to the enemy and you just run like this, and you zigzag back and forth and just keep your distance from the enemy. Now, of course, he's getting closer and closer, but not all people would do that. That is just the AI doing that. So basically, the idea of the strategy is you want to bait your opponent to do an attack that will either be parryable or make the recovery frames just large enough for you to impale them. So if you're running and then the Gladiator does like a heavy and he whiffs it, then you turn around and you smack him. You can either turn around and do a side heavy to try to make him think that it's going to be an impale, which will go for the parry, and then of course the heavy will land, or you turn around and then you impale him like that. Now, the reason why this works on the Gladiator really well is mostly because of its reflex guard. You can do it even if the Gladiator doesn't do an attack. So if you're like doing your Kite-Strat and you turn around and you walk towards him, he will probably pull up his reflex to the left, and then it'll go down really fast. So if you can time that properly and just watch for when he turns it, you can impale him properly and get him to the wall. So the reason why this strat is really hated upon by a lot of people, and by hated on, I mean when I do it on my live streams, it's not very liked by many people. In fact, I had some content creator friends not really approve of it as well, but that's something entirely different. It's not important. The reason why it's not really liked is because that's not how you play the game, and I totally agree. I totally understand where it's coming from. This is not how the game is supposed to be played. This is how the game is supposed to be played. You locked on, and you do your dodges, and you do your shoves, and you do your things and whatnot. Here's the problem. The problem is that Lawbringer is at bottom tier right now, and he is a terrible character to fight in 1v1s. I am not saying that you should play Lawbringer and then do this in 1v1s. In fact, I recommend you don't do it because it will, A, cause problems for you and your opponent. It makes it a huge frustrating time. Unless if you're playing ranked. Ranked is a whole different ball game, and that's just something for another time. I would only recommend doing this in ranked and high level play if you want to play Lawbringer and you know the enemies you're going to go against. So the 2.5 enemies I'd recommend using this strategy against is Gladiator, Highlander, and then sometimes Warlord. That's dependent on Warlord. So say you're going against Warlord, Highlander, for example. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get him into offensive stance. When he gets into offensive stance and he holds it, he is completely open. However, you don't want to go for an impale then, because he can do a dodge and then kick you, and he has enough recovery frames to do that. What you want him to do is you want him to bait a unblockable heavy and let it go, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to let go a heavy to make you do the impale to them, so then they will dodge and do a kick. However, if you impale at the right time, 100% of the time, it's guaranteed when they let go of that unblockable, you can get the impale on them. So there's that, and the other reason why I'm making this video is just for a little clarification on why I do it. So, as you guys may know, recently I tried to do ranked with Lawbringer only. This was just like a silly little goal I had, and of course it proven to be really difficult. I was going against Conquerors, Warlords, Wardens, and Highlanders. Those are like the 4 main characters I've been going against. And Lawbringer loses most of those matches. Not gonna lie, it's really difficult. It is really frustrating, and the chances of winning are next to none. I am fully agreeing with everyone who says that you should not play Lawbringer in ranked is right. I fully agree. You should not play Lawbringer in ranked. You should not play any low tier character in ranked. Any mid tier character you shouldn't play in ranked. You should only really play like the 5 top characters, which would be Gladiator, Highlander, Warlord, Conqueror, and Warden. Those are like the 5 main characters you should probably play in ranked, and every other character you probably shouldn't. However, I wanted to do this regardless and see if I could actually get Grandmaster with Lawbringer. I got up to Diamond 2 in placements, and then I just played Lawbringer the rest of the way. I got all the way up to Diamond 4, and in some games, when I go against Highlander and Warlord and sometimes Gladiator, I would unlock and use this strategy. This strategy got me all the way up to Diamond 4 sometimes, and then Wardens, I would just keep distance, basically just walk backwards like that. So getting back on track, basically, I lost my rank because of, lag and disconnects. You can see the video on that, where the proof of that, and I just gave up ranked, which is why I'm making this video, just to not really just teach you guys how to do it, because like I said, I don't recommend it, and I don't really condone the action of doing it in any other game mode than ranked. Ranked, I'm totally all for it. It's all game. Ranked, you're trying to win. It's a play to win strat, and it's something that gives the Lawbringer a little bit of an edge. But it's also more, I'm making this video just for clarification. I don't know how long this video is going to go on for, by the way. I'm just blurting out words. I have no script. I'm just kind of just explaining myself. But getting back onto topic, what is the use of this strat? Why even unlock? Why don't you just stay locked on and try to react to an attack? Well, here's the hard truth, okay, guys? I'm going to be completely blunt, completely honest. Lawbringer against Conqueror, Highlander, and Warlord, all decent players. Of course, it's ranked, so obviously they're decent players. All 3 of those characters, the win chance is 0%. 0% if you're locked on. 100% of the time, you will lose against all 3 of those characters, and there's no chance of winning. 100% chance, I guarantee you will lose. However, if you unlock against a Warlord and Highlander, not Conqueror because it doesn't really work, but if you do it against Warlord and Highlander, you actually have a chance. And how do you have a chance? Well, it levels the playing field. When you're going against Highlander and you're locked on, and he goes into offensive stance, he can do the 50-50 and mix you up constantly. However, if you're going in the unlocked and you're running around and cutting him like this, he can't mix you up with the kick and grab. If he tries to kick and grab, he will have too many recovery frames, and then you can turn around and impale him. Of course, it's not always 100% guaranteed that you'll do the impale. You have to know the timing of it, and I'm not really awake enough to know the timing. But basically, you impale them, get the 15 or 20 damage, whatever it is, get them on the wall, do the 30 damage, and then you shove them and do your mix-up, whatever you want to do there. But basically, that's the strategy. And by leveling the playing field against a Highlander like that, gives you the chance to beat him. Of course, you are still astronomically at a disadvantage. You're always going to lose as long as they just block the left and never attack. If they just turtle you, you lose. There's no way you can win. However, if you go against players that are unaware of this strategy and they try to get really aggressive, or you wear them out because time's running out and they get really impatient, you can get them to do really offensive attacks on you. So the way you do it on Warlord, it doesn't really work because he'll just block the left all the time. But basically, the way you do it is you unlock and you lock back on and you shove him. And shoving, when a warlord dodges, he gets no punish. So it's like shoving a like centurion. They get no punish, and you just keep doing it over and over again. You might get a land, and when you shove them, then you can go for like a light or something, or maybe they'll dodge, and you have to unlock. There's so many advanced attacks, so many. The thought process ahead you have to do is crazy. But to recap, and just to clarify, I do not think that this is a good thing to do. It's not a healthy thing to do for the game in any other game mode but ranked. Ranked is always going to be a super toxic, gotta win strat mindset that everyone's going to have, only top tier characters. So, if you're going to use a lower tier character, you're going to have to rely on some crazy ass shit to win. And this is something that I had since Season 3. As soon as I couldn't do ranked in Season 3, I dropped this strat, didn't do it. I stopped it immediately and just went back to regular duels. I do not do this in Dominion, don't do it in regular duels. I don't think it's a really healthy thing for the game, and I'm not trying to teach you guys how to do it. I'm just telling you guys, if you go into ranked with Lawbringer, this is the slightly viable thing to do. I'm just making this video to clear up the air and confusion of people that came into the stream and saw me do this and thought I was the most toxic player on the planet and needed to be purged and burned like a witch or something. I don't even know. But, yeah. There you go, guys. This weird strat to win as Lawbringer. And it works sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hopefully the air is a little bit cleared. I'm really tired right now, so I'm sorry that I rambled on a bit and I didn't really plan this video, but there you go. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.